Really yourself. Good right here in front of you. What you need? There go. Yo. I'm really yourself, go get right out of left. Run up a check till I run out of breath. Burn it out, they gon' live what they rap. Big cap niggas ain't living like that. Do the most, get too close, you a ghost. Dope is the dope, you get more than a dose. Give all that I got till there ain't nothing left. I don't need no help, I could do it myself. I'm really yourself, go get right out of left. Run up a check till I run out of breath. Burn them out, make them live what they rap. Big cap niggas ain't living like that. Do the most, get too close, you a ghost. Dope is the dope, you get more than a dose. Give all that I got till it ain't nothing left. I don't need no help, I can do it myself.
Niggas big cat like a Mexican Fiesta. Dope on the scale, you won't get no extra this way. Make it whole dude, the money's safe. Tell your old man you don't want it, baby. I just bought a new stick the other day. Cook dope on the stove, on microwave. The neighbors don't like the J, they keep coming. Come on. I'ma keep serving the dumb and defy the ranks. Shit smell like fungus. No Q and not just the city. Keep fucking my business, I'm just being honest. Keep dealers and killers among. Wrap your ass up like a monk. Standing the white hood and dip on the I feel like OG little homie. To the plug the car, I'm alone. Send it to the Pope man. Pray the people higher than most, higher than most. Trying did not see a ghost. 93 OG came from West Coast. Time to your home, I just came from my throat. MOBB OG gang, oh let's go.
Yeah, go take a seat, get out the kitchen, I'm cooking, keep whipping it. Long as promoters keep booking, I'm running it. You get it all till I'm done with it. Give me that reaper, your block, you won't get it. Hell with the scale, got it booming like speakers. I know what I'm doing. Don't need no features, quartets and funerals, commas and numerals. Really a chef, cook it up right or left. Working my move, I need more than enough. These niggas bluff, they really not tough. Head first, running up a check till my heart start 3-point. Working on my shot, trying to get hot. Swear to God, coming out the fold, never flip flop. Good smoke, good dope, busting out the zip lock. Don't think about it, you try, you might die. These niggas capping, they living a lie.
Yes, sir. That's how we doing. Phone ringing off the hook is going crazy. Running up that bag, I've been getting that bag lately. Ain't fucking with these niggas cause I know that they fugazi. Wish the coup was faster than this, need 280. Do the dash on them, leave them niggas in the wind. Ain't fucking with these niggas cause these niggas they pretend. Father God forgive me cause tonight might have to sin. Might spin on the pussy niggas who done killed my friend. Oh man, say I'm talking crazy. Walking with a limp. 19 I had a cane. Had me looking like a pimp. I just took my bitch up on a date. We got lobsters and shrimp. Bro, the spot of the op off in the hood when the poppin' at him. No, we ain't rockin' with them. Steppin' on them niggas like some Tims. Junkie on the block, going crazy for the M's. And I got that eye, get them wrinkles out your clothes. Ain't fucking with these niggas cause I know these niggas hoes. Niggas 12 like motherfucking troll. He only like 12 but got like 3 or 4 poles. It can go down if you niggas ain't know. We even got them pistols while we going to a show. Come from, it be real in the hood. Everything I got, gotta go, it's all good. I'm feeling like Tiger cause I wish a nigga would. I be with this shit, bitch, let's get it understood. Got a nigga started like a motor under the hood. I'm just saying shit, it's coming off the brain, but I'm good. Smoking on some good, put your homie in the wood. Don't be talking about what you did, I talk about what you could. Just talk about what it's finna be. Let me send a message. I was fucked up for a minute, pockets hurting, I was stressing. And then I talked to God, next day I got a blessing. These niggas pockets and arrested. Come on, man, this shit be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really play no game. I just step in this bitch and just do my.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What's good, what's good, what's good? Wick made 912 back in y'all area. Y'all know what time it is, man. We gotta document this shit, man. So let's get into the rest of this Young Thug trial. What we on day 7. So my boy Cuff Boys, he did a little definitely a good edit up of kind of how day 7 went. But mostly what he put was the defense, which is a great thing. But I also want to give a picture of who the next couple of witnesses that's coming up. This next witness here is another police officer, so we got another situation. Now we done had, how many situations we done had? I need to start writing these motherfuckers down. It's gonna be a long ass trial. So the first situation that they brought to our attention, you know, that they're trying to tell us that this is further in the game, is first situation was what? Well, I know we had one at least with the tinted windows too dark. Okay, we'll start there. That's the one I can think of out the gate. It was Somali in the car. Turned out to be bath salt. It was a gun in the car. There was another situation. They got pulled over. The dude that's alleged one of the shooters of Donovan Thomas, which is another case, was sitting in the back seat. It was a female in the passenger seat. It was a driver. Driver didn't have no license. Car got searched. Bam. They found the gun and some weed and $17, $19. Then we had a situation where the dude was flexing on Instagram. He was trying to fuck an old lady. He was you believe that he's with YSL. He throwing a YSL sign. You pull up on him. You know, y'all get the dog to come out, sniff around the car. You find some guns and some weed in there. So you connect me. You never said nothing about gang when it came to any of these situations. Let's make sure we make that clear. There was never anything about a gang on any one of the situations. So you arrest the young man there. We find out that he beat those charges. Then we had another situation. A guy who is now a homicide detective, but he was with Apex, a.k.a. Red Dog. And they pulled up on these young guys at a store. The guys ran into the store. One of the guys went into the game room. When he came out the game room, the officer so-called went into the game room, found a half a gram of crack. They brought up, one of their witnesses was a dude to come up here and tell us how they do a purity test on a gram of crack cocaine, and now it makes it a little bit under a gram of under a gram of cocaine. So some kind of way this is supposed to be further in the game. We ain't figured it out yet. If I was a juror, I would have a hard time trying to figure it out, but hey, some kind of way this was part of further in the game. Now, I'm not saying that they wasn't doing stuff to further the game. We got a long way to go. But these are a lot of useless testimonies, in my opinion. And I think you're gonna bore the jury to death with all these petty ass crimes. Because we also seen that there was another situation that they brought to our attention where a lady that used to work at JJ's club, the Pink Pony, she was like the house manager. She got followed home and her car got jacked. And when they found the car, there was a couple of dudes outside. One of the guys ran up throwing up some gang member signs, but the officer that he was throwing it up to, he didn't have any gang experience, so he couldn't tell you what kind of gang signs those was, whether he was a Crip, Blood, whatever. He just came to, watch the car and try to arrest whoever was driving the car. So the dude so-called ran off. You found the gun under a bucket. You charged the dude with the gun. That was another situation. Had another situation where somebody's house got broken into. A gun got stolen. And one of the guns that got stolen that ended up in the car that Young Thug was driving one day, driving somebody else's car, and it was under the passenger seat of the car. So I think what they're trying to show is a pattern of the stolen guns, the stolen cars, and them being linked up to Young Thug down the line. Now, we can't see it just yet, but if you see all of these people steady committing crimes, steady having the same MO as far as stolen cars, stolen guns, scratched off serial numbers, but these are all the people you're surrounded around, I think that's what they're trying to get to as their point. But the problem The problem is that every person that they keep bringing up here keep getting butchered by the defense. You got 6 people on trial here. If all them dudes would have shut their damn mouth, every last one of them would have walked. Ain't no way in the world these folks would have been able to handle no 28 fucking people. They can barely handle these 6 lawyers right now. But every time they come up here and bring a so-called officer, you'll see that these are just some officers that are out here. They never, ever, ever put in their reports that this was gang activity. So, yeah, you can put all these people that they got all these charges out there and make it look like he hanging with a bunch of thugs. But that doesn't mean that they was a gang. I mean, in the blind eye of the law. I know that these niggas was a gang. I'm just saying. Court is about proving without a reasonable doubt. Because it could have just been a capping ass rapper. Unless you got this nigga dead to the wrong of going to kill somebody or telling somebody to go kill somebody, or you could prove that he paid for it. You know. So, we gonna see. What's good, Tina? My bad, y'all. I haven't been looking at the chat. I'm over here on the other page. Let me look at the chat, man. I was giving people enough time to get in here. The people who want to make sure they keep up on this trial, because, you know, we can always wait to the end, but that's going to be 3 months from now. You can always go through and look at the highlights of what people going to put up or whatever, but it is going to break it down to you as far as the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? So we can all get an understanding. We can skip through the boring parts, and we can just appreciate the good lawyering that we going to look at, you know, in the eyes of the law. It's some good shit to me. I mean, if I'm interested, I know somebody else interested. So let me start running my mouth. Let's get into what we got here. All right. So we left off. I done ran down some of the things that they've been trying to prove as far as supposed to be part of pushing the game for, or what they call it, crimes they've been doing to benefit the game. So the last person we listened to yesterday, I think he's coming back to testify today, and I'll let it play a little bit so I can remember where we was at. And he comes back up.
Good morning.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
And where do you work?
Atlanta Police Department,
And how long have you worked there?
22 years.
And when did you start?
As an officer, I was on Audit Theft Task Force.
And have you held any other positions other than investigator since being with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to start right here and let him tell us who the fuck he is and the new crime that's supposed to be further in the game that he about to tell us about.
As an officer, I was on Audit Theft Task Force. In 2008, I was promoted to Investigator. I did general investigations. I went to narcotics as an investigator, ATF Task Force. I'm on a future unit by way of the U.S. Marshal Task Force.
Okay. And are you post-certified?
Yes, I am.
Were you post-certified on September 5th, 2022?
Yes, I was.
2020.
Yes, I was.
Do you remember working an extra job on Saturday, September 5th, 2020?
Yes.
And what kind of extra job was that?
So I was working in Zone 1 at the Zaxby's. It's a restaurant.
Okay. And how were you dressed for that job?
Per SOP, I was dressed in full Class A uniform.
Okay. And around what time did you finish your shift?
About 10:30, 11 o'clock.
All right, y'all, I'm going to pause it right there. I want y'all to take note of something. Okay? He is working the shift at fucking Zaxby's. Not as an employee, but as a police officer. Right now, this motherfucker is a goddamn homicide detective. So he done went from goddamn working in a patrol car at Zaxby's to becoming a homicide detective all of a sudden. We ain't gonna talk about that. But, well, we gonna talk about it, but, you know, just wanted to throw that out there. But right now, he's telling the story of he's getting off his shift at Zaxby's, securing Zaxby's, on his way home. And he just happened to stop at the hottest motherfucking dope boy ass store on Cleveland Ave. And he see a nigga who happens to be Young Thug's brother. But I'll let him tell the story.
And what's the address of the extra job?
It's 946 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive.
And where, if anywhere, did you go after you finished your shift?
I was headed southbound on 75, realized I needed some gas, so I got off on Cleveland Avenue and went to the Chevron.
So out of all places, I-75, on the way home from work, and you need some goddamn gas, you stop at the hottest dope boy ass store in the whole state of, pretty much in the whole state of fucking Georgia. I ain't lying. You stop in the motherfucking Gang Central store after you getting off of work from a Zaxby that ain't right there by your job. Out of all the stores.
On Cleveland Avenue.
Do you know the address of that Chevron?
221 Cleveland Avenue.
And what county is that Chevron located?
Fulton County.
And in what type of vehicle were you traveling in?
I was in my city unmarked vehicle, which is a gray F-150, Ford F-150.
Okay.
So he know he in his undercover truck.
And are you familiar generally with the area of 221 Cleveland Avenue?
Yes, sir.
And how are you familiar with that area?
Working out of that task force, we would be assigned to that area to look for stolen vehicles. When I was doing narcotics undercover work, I numerous times would purchase narcotics from that area. Also being on fugitive, we would get files with people that is wanted from that area, and I have to go around there and try to locate them.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what you know generally about the 221 Cleveland Avenue area?
Basically, it's a known drug area with a lot of violence.
He just come out here and tell me it's a known drug area, a lot of violence. Well, why the fuck would you stop at that store then? You off duty. If I'm off duty, my nigga, I don't want no problems, right? If I'm off duty, I don't want no problems. I ain't gonna go stop somewhere where I gotta go do some more fucking work.
I'm sorry.
What's your objection, sir? I'm going to sustain the objection.
You're a man who heard?
Yes.
Would you like us to approach?
Yeah, you can approach. Mr. Steele.
It's a known drug area. There's a lot of different type of crimes that occur in that particular gas station address. It's also known for being a gang area as well.
And I am now going to show, with this court permission, this witness exhibits 157N through 163N, which is still shots. With permission to approach, I will do so, Your Honor. It's N, 161, 163.
So right now they just entering the evidence.
I'll get back up, please. Okay.
Cause I think they about to show this video.
And
That we're discussing today.
and it's accurate.
I'm sorry, I have an opportunity. All right, sure.
Can accurately depict the events of September 5th, 2020, as you recall them.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit state
Okay, he's about to tell the rest of his story.
exhibits 157N through 163N.
States 160. See fit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Investigator McKessie, either with the exhibits that have been in what we're looking at this.
This is my truck. I was at the gas pump trying to get some gas. Of course, this is the Chevron in the middle. You have the fish and wing spot. Over here is a income tax place, and then over here is a corner that leads you to the back of the building.
Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. Now, you're an officer. You just getting off work at your, job at Zaxby's or whatever. And you got the option of just taking your monkey ass home, dodging any type of violence. So he decides to bring his ass up here where he see all this action going on. But when he happened to see Young Thug brother, I think that's what changed what he was doing on his shift. And I think that's what you're going to hear without this, but let's go.
Building. I'll explain why I said that later.
Okay. I do want to go back a few steps really quickly and further expound upon something you said earlier. Earlier you talked about 221 Cleveland Avenue being the gang area. What do you mean by that?
It has a reputation where there's a lot of gang activities going on where they sell drugs in that area. They seem like they hang out there to sell some of their narcotics.
Faces. Same. Overruled. Overruled. Okay, all right.
About how far is the 221 Cleveland Avenue area away from 151 Cleveland Avenue?
It's less than a mile.
Remind y'all that this is the prosecution that's asking him questions. So they're trying to set up the perfect questions to make the jury be like, yeah, tell us about how bad this story is. You know what I mean? Tell us about all the dope these niggas doing. You notice how he volunteering all that extra shit. This place a whole bunch of... Do this place look like it's a gang-infested area? It do look like it's lit at nighttime, don't get me wrong. But that just could be a whole bunch of niggas just pulling straight off of that highway and wanting to pull up there. Because it's the closest one. Hell, it's in the neighborhood, I guess. But he's volunteering that information. He's volunteering that information, but you're going to notice how much he all of a sudden don't know nothing about that down the line.
Turning back to this picture, I would like to ask you, well, before we go into the picture a little further, could you tell the court what you remember about working that day of September 5th, 2020?
Well, I was off duty. Like I said, I was just getting some gas. That evening was kind of busy. There was a lot going on in that evening in the Atlanta area in general. Before I came here, I was involved in an incident over by my extra job.
Yeah, which one? You got Mr. Steele? Yeah, okay, all right. What's your response?
Your Honor, you can say this relevant to the portion of his testimony.
Okay, overruled.
So you may continue.
So I was involved in another incident in another area where there were shots fired in that particular area, which is near my extra job. Because of that reason, I had to keep my uniform on. Normally I would take it off, but...
So he just came from an area where he damn near got shot at. Or somebody got shot. I would be trying to take my black ass home. Shit. Sometimes you just you can't police the motherfucking world. But I guess that's how he ended up a homicide detective, nigga. This nigga working on his day off. On his time off. He didn't even get paid for this shit.
I kept my uniform on at that time. I also had to have a different kind of firearm with me to protect myself in that incident. When I left that area, I came over to, we're going 75 southbound, where I noticed I needed some gas, so I stopped at this particular gas station, which is closer to the freeway. I pulled up to a pump, noticed that the pump was broken. Noticed there was a lot of people. When I first pulled in, there was a lot of people in the area. Then I went over to the pump closer to the restaurant, where I noticed there was candles, like they had a candlelight vigil in that area. And then I also noticed a whole bunch of people congregating. One particular vehicle struck my attention at the time, which was a red sedan. Inside the red sedan, there was a lot of lighting in the area, but inside the red sedan, I saw a guy sitting in a passenger seat with a rifle. The rifle was sitting, it seemed like he was holding the rifle. You could see the butt stock of the rifle. Even at one time, he had lifted the rifle up, and you could see the actual.
I'm circling this red sedan that he's talking about, y'all. So this is him. This is from his point of view. The nigga right here got a chopper.
Barrel of the rifle, so I was able to tell it was some kind of AK-47 rifle, style rifle. I then noticed a lot of commotion going on. All of a sudden, a white sedan pulls up. The sedan parks next to the red sedan. At that point, I kept my eyes on the person in the red sedan because of the rifle aspect of it. All of a sudden, this older gentleman comes out of the store. He started cussing, using profanity, talking about he's gonna kill somebody.
So let's unpack some of what you discussed just now. So with the exhibit that is on the screen, can you point to the red sedan that you said that you saw the individual with the rifle style firearm located?
So it's parked over by the fish and wing spot back
right over here.
It has its lights on.
And I will just allow you to know that screen is a smart screen, and I believe if you touch it, it will annotate where you're talking about.
Okay, it's actually right here.
Yes. Okay, so that car that is close to that white sedan by that fish spot, is that where you were pointing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many people were in that vehicle when you saw it?
It was 2 at the time.
Okay. And at that time, after you observed that, earlier you stated that you had a firearm.
Yes, sir.
What type of firearm did you have?
I had my handgun that I normally carry, and also I had a AR-15 rifle, which is also city issued.
When you went to that location, were you working in an undercover capacity?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Were you looking for anyone particularly?
No, I wasn't.
Were you in any way, shape, or form there for anything other than gas?
No, sir.
You indicated earlier that there was an older gentleman. Do you recall making that statement?
Yes, sir.
Earlier you stated that he was saying something. Can you describe what those things that you heard?
Yes, sir. He was ranting, he said, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. That's pretty much what I heard. He continued just to rant, just the one.
So let's get this straight, y'all. He see this old man outside hollering, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. He see a nigga in the red car over here with a motherfucking AK-47 in the passenger side. He just happened to stop here, to get some gas. He's not on the clock. This is a dangerous situation. I guess I gotta give this nigga some kind of credit for being some kind of, I don't know, want to see the better in the world or some shit, but I don't know. I guess he wanted to be the hero. But the crazy thing about it is, well, let me let him finish telling the story and then I'll analyze what I don't understand.
One that stood out, he said, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
What did the other people around in that environment appear to be doing?
They were just looking at him. Again, at the time, they were just looking at him, just watching him rant.
Okay. Just briefly over here. Why did you move your vehicle from the first pump that you parked there?
The pump wasn't working.
Okay. And after moving your vehicle from the first pump, how did you position your vehicle?
Facing the actual store.
Based on this picture that is in evidence, was your vehicle facing the red Honda that you're looking at?
Directly in front of the red Honda, yes, sir.
All right. And so with this, from this vantage point, it was very easy for you to see into that vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And after you observed the man renting that you described, what else, if anything, did you observe?
That's when I saw the white Malibu pull up and back in.
And based on this picture that is in evidence already, can you point to the jury where that vehicle, the white Malibu that you were describing, is located?
Yes, sir. The vehicle's backed in front of the fish and wing place.
Okay. Is that to the left of this screen?
On the left, correct.
And who was in that vehicle that backed in when you described?
It was a driver. It was a passenger and a backseat passenger who later I was able to identify as Contagious Greer.
Okay. And when we get to that, can you describe in total how many people were in that vehicle?
Let me take a note real quick. Quatavius Greer is Young Thug's brother. Now, he's the real target here. He's telling about an old man out here yelling he gonna kill somebody or whatever. He's waving around a gun or whatever. He see a dude right here in the passenger side with a whole fucking AK-47. He's laser focused on Young Thug's brother though, cause that's the only person gonna get arrested. That's what this whole story right here about. How did Young Thug's brother just end up getting a gun charge when he got let out on? He signed one of the plea deals. Remember they had 28 people? Yeah, now they down to 6. One of those 28 people was his brother. So once he signed the plea deal, I think he had 10 or 15 years probation or whatever. He ended up at this store taking a gun from a drunk dude that was saying he was going to kill somebody. But this undercover motherfucker, he just happened to see him. And now he want to arrest him out of everybody because he know that's Young Thug's brother. That's kind of what happened, but we're going to see how it get told. I ain't saying he wrong. Hell, he did his job. I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay. And I'm going to replay these and allow you to use that screen. Just
I do not do a podcast. UFC.
right in front of us is Exhibit 158N. Can you describe for the jury what that is that we're looking at in this particular vantage point?
This is the same area where the white vehicle was backed in front of the restaurant, the Fish and Wing restaurant.
Okay. Do you see a gray truck in this exhibit?
Yes, that's my gray truck.
And is that white sedan that you were speaking about in front of this Fish and Wing spot the one that you paid attention to particularly that night?
I started paying attention to, yes, sir.
Okay.
So look, y'all. Oh shit, hold up. Check this out. The white car way over here. That red car right here. He way over here getting gas. But he could see a nigga over here with an AK-47 in his lap. Also, he could see the dude that he's mentioning that's in the back seat, and the dude that had their pistol and everything that was out here raising hell that he took the pistol from. He seen him when he got in the car. Apparently.
Can you describe, based on your vantage point, what if anything you observed the occupants of that vehicle of the white sedan to be doing?
So at the time, I guess the older male was, going through his renting, and all of a sudden I see the driver get out of the vehicle and hand the old male a firearm. At that point, I saw.
He saw the driver get out the car and hand the old man a firearm. Why he out there raising hell now? He out there raising hell. This motherfucker jump out the car, go get a man a gun. The driver now, make sure you take note of that.
Mr. Greer exit out the backseat passenger side with a firearm in his hand.
Did you observe these individuals get out of the vehicle only one time?
No, sir.
Okay. How many times did they get out of the vehicle?
The driver got out the vehicle twice, and Mr. Greer got out the vehicle twice.
Okay. So let's go through the first exiting from the white sedan. When they exited the white sedan the first time, can you describe for the jury what you observed?
So the first time, the driver gets out the vehicle, approached the older male, and hands him a firearm. Mr. Greer exited out his vehicle, out the same vehicle in the backseat passenger side, and had a gun in his hand.
Okay. And did anything occur after that?
At that point, Mr. Greer puts the firearm in his waistband and sits back down in the vehicle. The driver walks back towards the vehicle, also sits down in the vehicle. At that point, the old man rushes towards the front of the door as if he was going inside of the Chevron. He walks inside and comes right back outside. He began still, cussing. It seemed like he was under influence. He also began waving the handgun in the air, saying he's going to shoot all these motherfuckers. At that point, the driver then gets back out the vehicle, grabs the gun from the old man, and walks back to the vehicle. And that's when I see Mr. Greer get out the vehicle and start walking towards the income tax place.
All right. Were you able to get, let me ask you this. Was there anything about that, what you observed that drew your attention to?
So that's a lot of activity. Shit. You done seen old man with a gun. Somebody done went and took the gun from him, but you seen Mr. Grill, which is Young Thug's brother. He got a gun. He in the back seat. But he's saying he went and took the gun from the man. After they were acting crazy, then he jumped out the car and he left. But what about the nigga that was still in here with the AK-47? And you still got the, I don't know what you got in the white car.
That man running with the gun?
It's just a man running with the gun, and he was, there were, besides the man running with the gun, but also, like I said, I was able to be looking at it and keep my eyes on it. I was able to describe people in general what they were doing.
Were you concerned for the overall safety of people in that environment based on what you observed?
Yes, sir.
Is that what prompted you to come out of off-duty mode and become more active as
I stand this lady.
I was right there.
Okay.
What, if anything, did you observe caused you to do at that point?
So basically, due to those innocent people in the area, I felt that I needed to act on it so nobody was to get hurt, I got on my city issue radio, asked for backup. I then kept observation on the individuals to make sure they didn't act the way I thought they was going to act, which at that point, when backup showed up, which made me approach the situation, investigate the situation more further.
Okay. And when you, when you began to use your radio, what, if anything, did you call out?
I gave the description of the individuals that had the firearm. I also gave a brief synopsis of what happened at that moment, why I was acting the way I was acting. Again, like I said, I stayed in a position so I could keep eyes on everybody until backup showed up.
In your opinion, was there a large group of people outside?
Yeah, there was a lot of people in that area.
All right, looking at Exhibit 159N, which has been admitted, can you tell the jury what you see here?
I see.
Now, these niggas had to know the police was coming. I mean, goddamn. After the old boy started raising all that hell out there and all that shit, nigga, if I know I got a pistol on me, weed on me, anything, bro, yeah, the police on their way, bro. Let me get the fuck up out of here, man. This nigga that made the whole goddamn spot hot. But shit, a lot of times, this just a typical night on Friday night. Before or after the clubs and shit like that.
The same area, PT1 Cleveland Avenue. This is directly in front of the the Chevron, the food mart of the Chevron. To the right is the income tax place. At this point, there was a whole bunch of people just hanging out. You could tell they weren't trying to get gas. They were just hanging out.
This mistake is costing Amazon.
This a case of never knowing when to turn your cop light off.
What do you see?
This is 221 Cleveland Avenue. On this side of the picture of this other 221 Cleveland is the income tax business. These are people that were all congregating on that side of the income tax place. Again, they were just hanging out for whatever reason.
Okay. I want to turn back to some of the things you said earlier for clarification. Earlier you stated that you saw Mr. Greer with a firearm. Can you describe what kind of firearm you saw?
Yes, it was a handgun.
Okay. And do you recall the color?
Black.
And after the occupants of the white Malibu returned to the vehicle, did they get back in?
Yeah, for a second.
Okay.
Hey man, is this a police here? Hold up. Is this a police officer right here? It look like a police officer. A police officer that know how to mind their motherfucking business. This nigga way over here not minding his business, and here got a police officer right here ain't called in shit. Know how to mind their motherfucking business. I'd be damned.
And then that's when they exit back out and walked towards the income tax place.
And did all of the occupants that returned exit their vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And at which point they exited the vehicle, did they have those firearms still with them?
Yes, they did.
Were you able to see them?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically with Mr. Greer, were you able to see it?
Yes, I did.
Where did he have it?
In his waistband.
Okay. When you say in his waistband, are you talking about in the front or back?
In the front.
Okay. And earlier you provided, you stated that you provided a description of those individuals, those three individuals in that white Malibu. Can you provide that when you relayed to the jury?
Yes. So the driver was wearing all black. He seemed like he had some kind of rhinestones on his jacket. The passenger, backseat passenger, was wearing a stonewashed jean jacket with a red cap, and the passenger was wearing a red hoodie sweater.
Okay. And Mr. Greer, what was he wearing?
A jean jacket, stonewashed style jean jacket.
Now he's describing all the people that was in the white car. So he's seen them. He's seen the people who were in the red car with the chopper and everything. And the reason I keep bringing this to y'all attention is you're gonna be like, why did you only arrest one man? Why did y'all only arrest one person? Shit, it was a whole bunch of shit going on out here. So I mean, it was obvious you was targeting him, but just say that. Why is it such a secret that you were just targeting certain niggas?
With a red hat or cap.
Okay. And did you ever get a description of the older male?
Yes, he had on a white t-shirt that had blood on his shirt.
And where was the blood located?
In front of, like, his abdomen area.
Did it appear like he had recently been injured?
Yes,
Salute, Hell Lima.
And after you observed the older male with the firearm waving it in the air, what did he do with that firearm?
He gave it to the driver who was wearing the black.
The driver of what vehicle?
Of the white vehicle.
Okay. And can you describe for the jury what that firearm looked like?
That was a black firearm as well, a black handgun.
Okay. Brief indulgence, Your Honor. Sir. The second time that these three occupants of the white Malibu exited, can you describe for the jury what you observed them to do?
So the backseat passenger and the driver exit out the white vehicle. The passenger stayed in the vehicle at that moment. Then they walked towards the income tax place, which is on the other side of the plaza of 221 Cleveland.
Over here.
And I think, again, I was able to see the handgun still on all of them, on both of them.
Okay, and specifically for clarity, can you describe the seating of those in the white Malibu?
So you had the driver wearing all black with the rhinestones, the passenger, front passenger wearing the sweatshirt hoodie, backseat passenger wearing a jean jacket, stonewashed style jean jacket with a red cap.
Was it the individual wearing the stonewashed jacket that walked out the second time to the west end of that plaza?
Yes, sir.
And earlier you stated that you radioed.
Yeah, day 7.
Yes, I did.
And can you acknowledge or can you tell me did additional units come?
Yes, they did.
And when I say units, what am I referencing?
The Zone 3 patrol units or CSU units.
Okay. And when the Zone 3 patrol units arrived, what, if anything, occurred at that time?
When they told me they arrived on the radio, I exited out my vehicle. I saw the passenger exit out the vehicle, who was still sitting in the vehicle. I addressed him to told him to show me his hands. When I realized I didn't see anything on his possession, I went towards where I saw the two occupants, the driver and the backseat passenger, walk to. I then told the officers to link up with me, gave them a description of who I was looking for, and we approached that particular person in general.
Well, he just admitted it right there. When he called for the backup and they came in there, it was just really one person in particular that he seen with a gun that he was targeting. And that was Young Thug's brother, because obviously he just got let out on probation for the RICO trial. So immediately this nigga right back out here with the fuck shit at the hottest shit. I mean, come on, I ain't telling a nigga not to get their money, but damn, bro, you go take your ass to the you get your ass in the hottest situation possible. This is the hottest situation possible that you can be in. You know what I'm saying? As Young Thug brother, while your brother on fucking that man already, while your brother sitting in there facing 30 years, 40 years. That's crazy.
The driver decided to continue, when he noticed that police was arriving, he decided to continue to walk away from the plaza and run away from the area.
Okay, and was there anyone detained as a result of additional units showing up?
Yeah, so once I gave him the description of the backseat passenger who also had a black firearm, myself and the patrol officers made the approach. I gave verbal commands to the subject. I told him to get on the ground, show me his hands. He complied, laid on the ground. That's when Officer Thomas went and put handcuffs, detained. I told him to go ahead and detain him, and also I told him to look for the handgun that I saw him having.
And that's all they needed. And right now, he's doing the rest of those. He's doing all those years that he signed up for probation for. And that's how they get you. Like, yeah, we'll let you go right now so you can, we'll let you go right now, sign this probation. Just say that YSL a game. Yeah, YSL a game. You go out there, you supposed to go do right, though. You come right back in for another damn gun charge. They about to make you do the whole 10. Or 15, whatever it is they gave you.
Why was the backseat passenger detained?
Just because he was one of the ones that had the handgun walking towards the crowd of people.
Yeah, hell, Lima, every now and then when they're playing the guy in the court right now, he's kind of low. But it's not going to be like this for the next slide. This part right here is about it.
And I wanted to make sure that, I wanted to detain him based on what I saw. To further investigation of the scenario.
Do you do that for safety?
For safety reasons, correct.
And after the backseat passenger, well, let me back up. Whatever happened with the front seat passenger of the white mountain?
The front seat passenger, he walked away, but he ended up coming towards where we were to try to, I guess, talk to us about why we have Mr. Green in handcuffs.
Whatever happened with the driver of the white mountain?
He ran away from the area.
Was he ever located?
No, sir.
After the backseat passenger was detained, was he searched?
Yes, he was.
Why was he?
To locate the firearm for safety reasons.
Okay, and after that firearm was located, where was it found in his purse?
In his waistband, in the front part of the waistband.
And was the firearm that was located on his person the same that you saw him walking with initially?
Yes, sir.
Who was the officer that actually recovered the firearm?
Officer Thomas.
And was there ever a time that how did you come to learn the identity of Mr. Green?
After we received the information, I wrote the information down. I then did my own investigation by running his information and pulling his driver's license information.
Okay.
So Officer Thomas that he spoke of, that's the officer that he called for backup. So he made the arrest. Both of them made the arrest of Young Thug brother.
And after he was detained, did you investigate the firearm that was in his possession?
Mr. Officer Thomas ran the information. I did run the information as well. Yes, I did, sir.
Okay, and
My bad, y'all. I think I put my mic on mute on accident, but Mike, the Officer Thomas that he's referring to, that's the backup officer that he called in. So they pretty much got the credit for the arrest of Young Thug brother. I feel like they tried to come up off of this, this whole YSL thing.
after you
Seemed like
your
it.
driver's license information up, was there a picture that came up?
Yes.
And did that picture match the person that you had observed on the night of September 5th, 2020, in the back of the white Malibu?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Report.
You have an objection? I'm sorry?
I believe the state is asking here.
We waiting for that cross. That cross exam gonna be hell on this motherfucker.
No, we state the last question.
Collection about is hearsay, and that's our objection.
I'm overruling objection. Okay, all right. Yes. Okay, all right. Still overruled. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all already know what's about to happen. This is the good part. Now, what I wanted to do is I definitely wanted to be fair and show y'all what it was that the role that he particularly played in this. Now, instead of showing this way, there's also another officer that has to testify on the behalf of, because there was another officer that came and made the arrest. So instead of us listening to his, I'm gonna go to Cuff Boy's breakdown of it, because he kind of merged both of them into one. So salute the Cuff Boys, and I'll react to this.
Day 7 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial was a circus. We got two officers who took the stand regarding a case with Thug's brother, Quantavious Greer, where he was caught with a stolen firearm. One of the officers even says he saw Greer in the courtroom today, but he's not on the case anymore, so he was mistaken. Then towards the end of the day, a juror alerts the court of an Instagram post she saw where someone might have exposed the jury on Instagram. This is not regarding the live stream situation like a week ago. This is a
Oh yeah, we did have that situation, but I was gonna wait till we got to that situation, because that situation was towards the end of the trial today. So I went back and listened to it about an hour ago, and I was like, what is this lady talking about? But I think it was a mistake. She thought that she was online, but we'll see. We'll find out more about that tomorrow. But yep, another time, some shit that got a little greasy on this trial.
completely different Instagram post that this lady saw, basically exposing that she was on Instagram in October when she wasn't supposed to be. This is a disaster. I mean, this lady needs to be replaced in my opinion, but it's towards the end of this video. You'll see what she says. She says she's not gonna be biased at all, but she's been on Instagram. So she's clearly been seeing stuff on social media. And then the judge finally warns them to stay off social media again, but obviously no one listened to that because
yeah, who the fuck ain't gonna look on social media, man? You gonna be dealing with this shit. You gonna be looking on social media. You gonna be looking at the news. You gonna go look at yourself in court. How would I not be able to fucking go look at this shit on YouTube and listen back to what people be saying? I mean, that's kind of the cheat code. Shit. You might have dozed off in court, then you could come back and look at that shit on YouTube.
She did it. This is a circus. Here we go. His subscribers grow into it. Imagine this cop finds him with a stolen gun on him at a gas station.
Can you tell the jury what you know generally about the 221 Cleveland area?
Basically, it's a known drug area with a lot of violence.
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
What's your objection, sir?
I couldn't hear the objection because audio is terrible, but they were not happy about him saying it's a known drug area.
It has a reputation where there's a lot of gang activities going on where they sell drugs in that area. They seem like they hang out there to sell some of their narcotics.
Basis. Same. Overruled. Overruled.
They keep objecting to him bringing up that it's a drug-infested area or whatever in crimes. Judge seems to overrule everything each time, too.
You observe the older male with fire.
Right, we've been saying a whole bunch of overruling when it comes to the to the defense, because he's allowing a lot of bullshit from the prosecution. But I mean, keep the trial going, man. I agree with the judge a lot of the times, man. Just keep the trial going any means necessary. Let them prove their damn point, because this shit weak as hell already anyway. Unless they gonna come with something that really somebody need to come in here and really point a finger. Cause we ain't seeing shit that got to do with we just seeing a whole bunch of petty crimes, a whole bunch of niggas at the store trapping, getting caught with guns.
He gave it to the driver who was wearing the black.
The driver
of the white vehicle.
And can you describe for the jury what that firearm was like?
That was a black firearm as well. I went towards where I saw the two occupants, the driver and the backseat passenger, walk to. I told him to get on the ground, show me his hands. He complied, laid on the ground.
Your Honor, we understand that the witness is refreshing his recollection with the report, but
first, a word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. The pick'em game is perfect.
Gotta get my shit together or I could be selling Underdog Fantasy too. But for right now, we just gonna keep to the store. Salute to them.
Thank you, boys. Here's the rest of the video.
At this point in time, I'm going to overrule your objection, sir.
It's within that area, a known gang, is a gang that is known frequently within that area. Objection, foundation.
I sustain the objection. You need to lay some more foundation, sir. Can you look around the courtroom and tell me if you see Quantavious Greer in this courtroom?
He was sitting over there, but I don't know if he's sitting there now.
He was sitting over here today?
Looked like something that was sitting over there.
Can you point him out?
Hey, y'all, I was listening to this shit while I was at work. I was like, what the fuck? Hold on. I wasn't even looking at this shit, and I knew this man wasn't in trial. I was like, hold on. The man ain't in there. And I think they started playing the game with him. This lawyer like, oh, can you point him out? You done fucked up now. You can remember all this shit, but you think you just saw the man that you said do all this shit? You think you saw him in the courtroom?
I don't see anybody now. I don't see him now.
He's not in the courtroom. He got sentenced to 9 years because initially he caught a plea deal and got out, but then he got caught with a gun and got sentenced to 9 years by a judge because...
Yeah, that's the gun we're talking about. 9 years.
They were like, yeah, you messed up again.
Mr. Greer this morning?
Yes, sir.
Where did you believe you saw him sitting?
Next to the light-skinned dude.
The light-skinned dude? Okay.
The light-skinned dude. He said he thought he seen that nigga somewhere over here. All niggas look alike, even to niggas.
What was he wearing?
A suit.
What color was the suit?
A dark colored suit.
Did he have on a tie?
Yes, sir.
What color was the tie?
I'm not familiar with the color of the tie.
When did you see him in the courtroom?
They look alike. If that wasn't him, I'd have to.
This nigga just lost all his credibility right there. How you just saw an imaginary person in the courtroom, but you want the jury to believe everything you just said? Amazing.
See that person again, but let's see. Oh no, that's not him. It looks like him.
You're looking at the parking lot, the surface of the parking lot. Do you see any tagging or gang graffiti on any of the parking area?
No, sir.
On the side of the building, we saw some photos on the side of the building. So did you see any gang YSL graffiti on that building?
You saw the side of the building?
Yes.
I can't see the side of the building.
Any gang graffiti on this particular gas station?
Now, y'all got to know this one of the Young Thug lawyer, man. This dude here a beast. I'm starting to grow a liking to the way he, approaches shit. Because he love to slip in some little gut jabs right before he about to leave. He don't do it at the gate. He'll wait till, like, his last question. He'll just blurt out some shit to fuck with him.
Building?
No, sir.
And you needed gas?
But that was one of the main things that they were trying to describe at the beginning of the trial, saying, well, there's gang territory. They got graffiti, people are wearing certain color clothes, all of that stuff. That's what they brought their case with, but you don't see none of that at this store. And once again, no one here, when they were arrested under anything that had to do anything with a gang. You never put that in your report. So if it's gang activity, you would think that's what you would have put it in your report. That's the bottom line of this trial. And I think that's where the prosecution is losing at. It's no problem to fucking make these niggas guilty of all the charges that you caught them with. Young Thug is guilty of having the guns and the dope in his house. But you're not proving that what these guys are doing with they half a gram of crack, they couple of bags of weed, they fucking guns, they stolen guns and stealing strippers and shit, cars and shit. That ain't no organized gang shit. I'm sorry. It's just a whole bunch of young niggas running wild that don't have no leadership. And yeah, this nigga could probably tell them to go do anything. He go tell them to jump off a bridge. And they'll go do it. As long as it's in their favorite song.
And you got off on the expressway and you went over to this particular gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said you saw a rifle, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I think you testified that from the vantage point that you were able to determine that rifle was an AK-47
Style rifle.
Okay. Was that rifle ever recovered?
Salute, Perpetual Learner. I appreciate that. Salute to the new member. To be salute. We on Wabbit Patrol, man. It's always a Wabbit. They ain't always in these sectors. These Wabbits everywhere.
No, sir.
Why wasn't it recovered?
They didn't want to invade their rights.
Okay, you didn't want to infringe upon their rights, so they had a right.
Did you hear that, y'all? He asked the man, why didn't you arrest the dude with the AK-47? I ain't want to invade his rights. Yeah, that nigga got a right to have that. I ain't running up on that. What the fuck? All that nigga thought was, yeah, nigga, you ain't in no motherfucking uniform. You ain't your motherfucking police truck. You ain't really want that smoke, Listen to what this nigga said. I ain't want to invade his rights.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
You said you saw a rifle, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I think you testified that from the vantage point that you were able to determine that rifle was an AK-47
Style rifle.
Okay. Was that rifle ever recovered?
No, sir.
Why wasn't it recovered?
They didn't want to invade their rights.
Okay, you didn't want to infringe upon their rights, so they had a right to have that particular weapon in their possession?
I mean, yes, sir.
Okay, so you didn't make any arrest of the person with the rifle, correct?
Correct.
You didn't document that person with the rifle was a part of a gang, correct?
Correct.
You didn't document that person with the rifle used that rifle on the premises of the Chevron, correct?
Correct.
No one inside the Chevron called law enforcement and said, hey, there's a guy with a rifle in a red vehicle, and I would ask that you all remove him from our premises, correct?
Correct.
You had not gotten any calls from any disturbances that had occurred at the Chevron this particular evening, correct?
No, sir.
Even this person that you said you heard ranting, if you would, with a gun in his hand, no manager inside the food mart, no employee, no citizen or anyone called 911 saying that this person was creating a disturbance, correct?
Well, my radio was turned off because I was off. When I first got there was no police there. There was just a whole lot of people congregating in the area not getting gas.
The driver had on all black, correct?
Yes, sir.
You did not see any type of gang paraphernalia on the person in the all black, correct?
He sounded like he was pissed off. There's a lot of people up there not getting gas. I'm up here getting gas. There's just a lot of niggas up here not getting gas. You damn right. Call the police, bitch. You off. That's what I would have did. I would have pulled off and I would have called whoever the fuck was on duty and would have told them to go up there and handle that shit, man. I'm going home. God damn, nigga. Take some time off, my nigga. Shit, what's good, Jimmy McFly?
Correct?
Correct.
The person that you described with the red hoodie, you didn't document in your report that the person who had a red hoodie on had a red hoodie on that was associated with any type of gang activity, correct?
Right.
It was just a red hoodie, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this older male that you said had blood on his T-shirt, there's nothing about your investigation to determine that this person that had blood on their T-shirt had been injured with respect to any type of criminal activity.
Once again, prove that you didn't put anything about no gang activity. You gonna hit that shit every time.
correct?
No, sir.
Okay. You don't know why the person had blood on the shirt, correct?
Correct.
Could have been from working, right?
Not that fresh of a blood.
Could have been from a fall,
Yeah,
correct?
could have been from a fall, yes, sir.
And the person that you said had this firearm, this older gentleman, you stated that he was under the influence, right?
Yes, sir.
Had been drinking. He was pretty much probably a drunk with a gun, right?
Seemed like it, yes, sir.
And the person who was in this vehicle who retrieved the weapon from the older gentleman was actually providing safety to that property by removing the gun from a drunk correct?
Well, he gave the gun to a drunk first.
Okay. He got it back.
So no, he wasn't providing safety.
Okay, he got it back though, right?
He didn't give it back.
Okay. And there was no issue with that gun. Nobody fired any weapon, right?
Thank God.
No one used the weapon to do a robbery or anything of that nature, correct?
They used the weapon for active assault, brandishing a firearm to try to shoot somebody, so there was a crime.
But
with
they tried
that.
to get shot that night?
The way he was ranting, saying he wanted to kill somebody and a specific person, he had the firearm in his possession to go do it, but he didn't do it. I described what the aggravated assault was.
Did you describe in your report that
I'm opening a restaurant.
Oh, so now you didn't arrest the person that committed the aggravated assault. You arrested a person that just had a gun. Why not arrest everybody? Shit.
Gave a description of the action of the aggravated firearm in his possession to go do it, but he didn't do it. I described what the aggravated assault was.
Did you describe in your report that an aggravated assault had been committed?
I gave a description of the action of the aggravated assault in my report, but I didn't say specifically it was aggravated assault.
That's because an aggravated assault actually requires a victim, correct?
It does.
And you didn't reference in your report that there was any victim of an aggravated assault, correct?
There was a description that I described as an aggravated assault, which caused me to act the way I acted, so I need to prevent the aggravated assault.
This lawyer's doing a good job at making this guy look a little iffy with his decision making on how he wrote his report. But it just seems like he pulled up to a gas, received a gun from some.
Quintavious Greer, correct?
Yes, sir.
You stated that this person had a stonewashed jacket and a red cap. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You did not reference that Mr. Greer was associated with any gang in your report, correct?
Correct.
And as a matter of fact, Investigator McKessie, you did not document in your report that you were going to make any type of referral to the gang unit within the APD, correct?
Correct.
In fact, there was nothing about this particular incident that caused you to reference in any way gang activity, correct? In your report.
You want to really answer that question?
No, I'm asking, in the report that you prepared, I'm asking you, did you reference any gang activity in your report?
No, sir.
Okay. You said it was for safety, but Mr. Greer, he never waved a gun at anyone, did he?
He had a gun in his hand.
Right, he never waved it at anyone, right?
You don't have to wave a gun and have a gun to do that.
And no one walked away from him as though they were afraid because he had a gun in his hand, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And you detained him because he had a gun in his hand, and as a result of that, he complied, right?
Yes, sir.
He didn't run away from you?
No, sir.
He didn't give you a false name?
No, sir.
He didn't give you a false date of birth?
No, sir.
You said lay down on the ground, he laid down?
Yes, sir.
Any of them here in this courtroom that you recall?
No, sir.
Okay. And you know I represent Mr. Williams, fair to say?
Sir?
You know I represent Mr. Jeffrey Williams, right?
Okay.
And he wasn't at the scene, was he?
No, sir.
When you mentioned and you described the area, in Cleveland Avenue area, that area.
They just asked that so smooth. Hey, he wasn't at the scene, was he? Nah, he wasn't there. Yeah, because it seemed like this whole trial is about him, and they acting like he was there. But anyway.
How long have you been familiar with this area?
Since 2005.
Tragically, the area is poverty-stricken.
Objection.
I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, objection.
I'm not going to answer that. That's disrespecting the community.
Okay, well, how would you describe the income level in that area?
Foundation, Mr. Steele, if you want to ask him that.
Do you have a belief on the level of income in that area?
Objection. I'm going to sustain the questions to form. Still.
The cop said that's disrespectful.
How is it disrespectful for you to just say, yeah, it is kind of, you know?
Yes, sir. And does that area,
Here.
do you believe that that area has a lot of crime?
Yes, sir.
And does that area have any type of flourishing houses? You know, the housing market there? There's a lot of homeless there.
I'm sorry, again, I'm not going to disrespect that community.
I'll sustain this to form. You can break that down, Mr. Steele.
Let me ask you this. Are you
Yeah, he's got to word it better. Mr. Steele's got to word this better. I know what he's trying to get at.
familiar with the McDonald's at 150 Cleveland Avenue?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar that McDonald's is today out of business?
Yes, sir.
And it's still the structure there, though. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
God damn, you know your area is rough when the McDonald's on the corner goes out of business. I mean, damn.
Yes, sir.
The McDonald's took 2014 going into January 2015.
Yes, sir.
And is it routine, typical, trained that if you get information about, let's say, something involving the parking lot of the McDonald's in Mr. Williams #1, and it had to be corroborated or looked into whether people were there on a certain day and time, do law enforcement have the ability to go and either request or subpoena that video?
Exactly. If you're saying that all this shit happened, it should be easy to get the shit on video.
Surrounds from the McDonald's.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. Were you involved in any way with confirming or not confirming statements made to law enforcement, specifically Detective Thorpe, on January 11th of 2015 about people at the McDonald's?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's what continue objections is not. I'll know before you start. We continue.
But if information came out to Detective Thorpe and others that on January 11th, 2015, and on January 10th, 2015, There were people in that McDonald's. Video surveillance could have been gathered if law enforcement wanted to.
This is fascinating.
Tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, how easy is it to get video surveillance?
It's hard sometimes to get on the business.
How about subpoena power?
It's still kind of complicated because you have to give it to maybe to a corporate office.
And then where, in relation to this McDonald's, would the location that you were talking about with the jurors be? Would it be to the left on Mr. Williams number 1 or to the right?
You mean where I saw Mr. Greer?
Yes.
To the right.
Okay.
So if it's McDonald's, be to the right.
Okay, on our picture.
I'm going westbound.
And does that area also have video surveillance?
Not sure, sir.
Okay, that's okay. The laundromat, does that have...
Hey, boy, Young Thug loyal as hell. Them boys know what they doing, but I'm talking about they know what they doing. They keep making these officers and these people that they're bringing up as witnesses that seeming like they're, you know, a waste of damn time. They're eating them apart. One by one. You got to get a W somewhere. They taking L after L after L.
Have video surveillance?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
So he arrested Thug's brother in the McDonald's parking lot right here. Thug's lawyers just pointing out that he didn't get surveillance video from the surrounding businesses. He didn't put the extra effort in, I think.
Yes, same report there. About 8 lines down. Doesn't that inform us that the back passenger actually disarmed the drunk man with the gun?
This was not my report, but yes.
Thank you.
A report was different than his? Is that what that basically just said?
Just based off the off-duty officer observation about multiple people with firearms, one possibly waving in the air, people seeming agitated, like they were about to,
So right now, this is the other officer that came up, the one that he called in. He's off of work. He called this dude in, and he's getting the arrest. So now he has to testify about his role in the whole thing. So the only thing he heard was, hey, this dude was waving a gun around. He was belligerent. But he's thinking the dude that he's arresting is the dude that, you know, they talked in the background. He's like, hey, man, I got Young Thug brother up here. I know this nigga got a gun on him. Come get this arrest.
jump into a shootout or something like that, and so we got on the scene where people started to flood, and Mr. Guerrero was there. The firearm was a stolen firearm out of Clayton County.
Another damn stolen.
I appreciate you, Sarah. Salute to Sarah Mae West.
Firearm. So this is about the same incident with Thug's brother. I don't see the importance yet, besides just him having a stolen firearm. That's like obviously not good, but I don't see how this is too important yet. I love Keith Adams right here. He seems like he's really good at cross. Like he just knows how to find little holes. So let's see what he says right here.
The officer, all three officers saw guns, right?
Yes.
Okay, individuals with guns. Specifically, one guy who was waving a gun around and making some statements, all right?
Correct.
What you came to find out, though, or maybe what you observed, I don't know, you told me when you got there, is that that guy who was waving the gun around was described as someone who might have been under the influence or something like that. That guy was waving the gun around, and then the rear passenger of a vehicle came and took the gun from him, right?
That was my understanding at the time.
Okay, I mean, that's what you wrote in your report, right?
Yes.
That person who took the gun from the drunk guy waving the gun around was Mr. Greer, right?
Yes.
Was in possession of a stolen gun, right?
Yes.
And you haven't had any involvement with that until you were called to come testify in this sprawling RICO racketeering gun case, right?
Repeat that again.
Objection, Your Honor.
All right. Now it's right.
I'm telling you, he gonna always come with the bullshit. He been throwing the bullshit in here the whole time.
And you said it's an area known for gang activity and high crime and that sort of thing.
Yes.
It's a poor area, right?
That is subjected to what you believe poor is.
Well, poor.
Recordings just got better.
Every time he gonna come with the gut punch.
No.
I can't say.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, I mean, you're well versed enough to say that it's a high crime area or it's a gang area, but you can't say whether it's a low income area or
No,
not.
there's some nice houses that's not too far from there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Why are
Now that's real shit. You can tell that it's a crime area. You can tell it's a drug area, gang area. Is it low income too? Just tell the truth. That ain't disrespect to your community. They're just keeping it real.
these cops so scared to say it's a low? What is going on here?
You charge Quintavious Greer with being in possession of a stolen gun, right?
I believe so, yes.
Now, the information that you had, though, right, was that he had gotten it. He took it away from the drunk guy who was waving it around, right?
That's what I believed at the time, yes.
Right. And the other information you had is that that drunk guy actually got the gun from the driver of the car, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You don't remember speaking to the officer who said that the driver is the one who came and gave the gun to the drunk guy. Drunk guy waves it around, and then the back passenger, Mr. Greer, got out of the car and took the gun from the drunk guy. You remember that's what she was told?
I'm not sure.
He's making Thug's brother actually look like he did something good, which he might have. I mean, he got a gun out of a drunk dude's hands. But I don't know the context to who the drunk dude is.
Man, See, he don't understand this. Let me take over right here, white boy. The old school dude, they gave him the gun. Like, nigga, if you say you gonna do something, nigga, do something. But they said he was doing all that capping. Like, man, why you get that nigga that motherfucking gun? Man, go get my motherfucking gun. It was either that situation or the old dude must have just got finessed out of some dope or some money. And he was talking about one of them niggas in the car, like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to kill one of them niggas. I kill all them niggas. But, you know, niggas had to let them know what's going on, man. They probably set up the little debt. It was a fucked up situation, though, because the nigga did come up there with a chopper, so I don't know whose side the nigga with the chopper was on. Shit. It wasn't going to, you know, go good if old school and that one nigga wasn't, you know, on the same team. So I don't know if this officer was a hero and he stopped something from really going down, or he waited till the shit cooled down on his own and then just targeted somebody. But either way it go, you know, you got to give him credit for, you know, doing his job or whatever. Hey, these niggas was sloppy as fuck.
Somebody was waving it around.
Right. So he was in possession of a stolen gun when he's waving that stolen gun around, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he charged?
No. I don't know who he is.
I'm going to check you right into mischaracterization of handguns.
Yeah, why wasn't that other guy charged with something?
Exactly. Now they gonna want to start ejecting. Why he wasn't charged? Why nobody wasn't charged?
People would touch in or be in possession of that stolen gun. Quantavious Gray, the only person arrested, right?
Dun, dun. Hey y'all, my thing's supposed to come in tomorrow. I appreciate everybody that donated to the the Stream Deck. I'll definitely be able to probably use some sound effects. I don't know. I got to figure out how to use it. But this is one of those moments you be like, dun, dun, dun. He made Buddy take his motherfucking glasses off for that one.
3 people would touch in or be in possession of that stolen gun. Quantavious Gray, the only person arrested, right?
Right?
Long pause.
Huh?
Repeat that question.
All right. 3 people.
Repeat that. What? Do what and what? The what? Repeat the question. That nigga said that question so clearly.
Long pause.
Repeat that question.
All right. 3 people in possession of the gun. Driver, who gave it to the drunk guy, that's one. Drunk guy, who's waving around talking about I'm gonna shoot y'all motherfuckers. And Quantavious Gray. 3 people. I'm touching and being in possession of that stolen gun.
I wasn't.
Hold on, wait a second. What's the basis?
Just trying to eject just to fuck up the momentum of this shit. You know this man ain't got shit to say. He fucked up. He looking like I want to smack the shit out your motherfucking ass, nigga.
Characterization of the evidence and the testimony that's come out of the trial.
I think I'm overruling the objection, Mr. Brown.
You understand the question?
I understand the question. I wasn't there to see who had the.
Yeah, he ain't got no choice but to overrule that because, I mean, the man got a solid point. There's 3 people there. 3 people touched the gun. Why you only arrested 1? Now all of a sudden you need to hear the question again.
Weapon, who gave it to who. I just know that when I made contact with Mr. Greer, he had the firearm on him.
Pete Adams cooking. He does a really good job at casting doubt. Next witness is Henry Radcliffe, a police officer. Has something to do with Huey, who was actually in the courtroom. So yeah, Marcravius Huey, theft by receiving stolen property.
And the firearm did came back stolen out of Wind Police Department. I was
another damn stolen firearm.
Okay.
So pretty much that's how Young Thug brother guy caught up. So now we're about to hear about a whole different other story about some petty crime that happened that furthered the game some kind of way. So next story. This one here is kind of a trip too.
About 15 minutes and then everybody can stretch. And
so now they went on break and something happened with one of the jurors where they think they saw themselves on social media, but this isn't pertaining to the recent incident where they were on stream. One of the jurors came forward and said they saw herself on like an Instagram page. This is the Instagram post they saw. but it doesn't even like show anything in the Instagram post. It's on some dude's court. He was in the courtroom, this guy right here. Here's a screenshot of an October 16th, 2023 video from William McRae's IG account from the media room in the courthouse. So he's in the media room, like in a different room, just like took in a picture of the TV. This video does not show the jurors. It sounded like the juror saw herself on a courtroom camera today, not media camera. And she was concerned she was being shown, having remembered she saw this video back in October on McRae's account. This juror was just like confused, thinking she was shown. Now they apparently call in jurors.
Well, they definitely understood that a little bit better than I did. I did see the woman trying to testify about how she thought she saw herself on the internet. So I was wondering if this was going to be another call for a mistrial, but I guess that explains it a little better. So I was going to find out more about that tomorrow.
I'm going to call in juror 409 at this point in time, okay?
Miss Love is here finally. I don't know what she's...
Oh yeah, we've been looking for old girl too. They got old girl working behind the scene. This old girl from last week, remember? She back. No. Oh, here she is. This got to be her right here with the short hair. Because this the woman that took her place.
He's been doing.
Okay, I need to ask you just a couple of questions. Within the last, I would say, 30 minutes, you shared a video on your phone with Sergeant Ingram. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and that particular video was of a person that his name William McRae?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how did you come to look at this particular video?
When we were dismissed this last time, I saw myself on the camera above us here. And so I asked Sergeant Ingram, where else could we be seen on this camera, on this?
Y'all think she's trying to get out of here?
And I asked if we could be seen in the viewing room. And then I remembered October of this year seeing something scroll through on social media. This was before we were picked as jurors.
Okay.
And I remembered.
She tried to say that real quick. This before we was picked as jurors. I seen it on social media. Man, stop lying, girl. You seen that shit on social media. She trying to get up out of it. Yeah, she's trying to get up out of there. I don't blame you. 3 months.
And because I personally, I don't know him personally, but because I know of the history of this individual, Mr. McRae, I was concerned that information had been put out that might interfere with the trial. And so I brought it to his attention, Sergeant Ingram. And I said, I remember seeing that. So with the camera view, I wanted to know if the jurors could be seen in the viewing room. At that time, he asked me to get a screenshot of what I saw back in October. And so I scrolled through his page and found the screenshot. But in the process of finding the screenshot, I saw the video. Now, the way social media works now, you can see a video, but if you don't touch it, you won't hear it. And so I continued to scroll, but I mentioned to him that there's a video and it looks like he was live in the courtroom.
She might be, if she really wasn't looking at social media and she's saying that she was scrolling and she might have happened to see, remember the other day they was talking about the front row of the jury had been seen, somebody had done seen her. So she know who the fuck Young Thug is. She ain't trying to have her life. And you're like, nigga, who was them people that got leaked out the other day? Y'all trying not to tell us, telling us not to look at social media while we all on social media and don't even know it.
Was this earlier, like in October, or was it when did this video or live incident filmed by Mr. McRae occur?
It looks like it occurred when he was here this week. I saw him on yesterday, and I brought it to Sergeant Ingram's attention.
Oh, okay, so your concern was that you might have seen yourself on a live feed?
Yes.
Okay.
This trial's a circus. Holy fuck, dude! They're gonna have a goddamn field so cratered.
This video to any other of your fellow jurors?
No.
Did you tell them anything about Mr. McRae or your concerns?
I mentioned it in the room, and of course they overheard me talking to Sergeant Ingram.
Yeah, she trying to get the fuck out of this shit, y'all. Yeah, somebody might have heard me. Ain't nobody heard your motherfucking ass. The judge about to say, did y'all hear anything? Nope, we ain't hear shit.
This isn't even the situation where it got leaked on the side. I don't
affect your ability to listen to this case, apply the law that I'll give to you and your colleagues, and to apply to the facts and the evidence as you determine them to be, and render a decision that speaks the truth as to all parties?
Not at all.
All right. So your basic concern was that you thought that he might be filming in contravention of the court's order.
Correct.
All right. And how do you know him from, or what?
Oh, she was trying to snitch on the motherfucking guard. And put on the spotlight. Yeah, I thought that nigga was filming.
What caused your concern to raise this to Sergeant Ingram?
I know the history that follows this gentleman.
Okay, and without getting into that,
Oh shit! I know the history that follows this gentleman. Man, appeal gonna be a piece of cake.
That's what made you concerned?
Yes.
Okay.
So she kind of exposed herself that she was looking at shit in October during the end of jury selection. Earz to see if they like overheard or anything or know anything about this situation.
Talk about the media in any way?
No.
Okay. Thank you much. That's all I need to ask you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You seem disappointed. All right, but
She said, no. She had to think about it. She was gonna lie or not. Any motherfucker don't give a damn about no putting their hand on the Bible and all that bullshit. Yeah, come on, that bitch. Just like Young Thug say, they lie to their mama, their sister, their cousin, their brother. You think they gonna come in this motherfucker and tell you the God honest truth? I say that's the realest shit that Thug ever said.
okay. All right. Don't tell anybody else what I asked you, okay? Just go back in there and I'll call for you in just a little bit, okay? All right. Thank you so much.
I ain't mad at the jury. I'm just saying that's just everybody. Most of these motherfuckers want to get out of their own shit.
Number 56, please, sir.
Oh my god. This trial's supposed to be like 6 to 9 months. Something's gonna happen where they're gonna run out of alternates. They only have like 5 on this trial, dude.
Did you know Juror 409 is sitting in the front row over there?
I know of, yes.
Okay. Did you hear her talk anything about the media?
No.
Okay, thank you. Did you overhear her talk anything about the media?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all I need to ask.
But now you putting all this shit in everybody's head. They're like, hold on, was that bitch over there talking about the media? What's going on?
Okay, I would ask.
We in week 2, y'all.
Ask that, that if you came off of the media apps or social media, you won't have that issue to deal with. There won't be anything that pops up on your feed or anything that may cause you to come in contact with anybody or any third party that is broadcasting about this trial. That is my concern, and for all of you, is I know that all of you are going to follow my directives and not listening to this case, but it's just too much of temptation for people to come.
Man, this nigga can't tell me he ain't looking at this damn case when he go home. Lying ass nigga. You ain't got no choice but to look at something that got this case on it. If you look at your damn phone, even if you see your Yahoo in the morning or anything, you gonna see something. This is cap. This is unrealistic at this point.
Like, oh, let me just recap of the case today on the AJC or 11 Live or Channel 2 or 46. I'm asking that you all just do that.
They're not going to listen. He's telling the jury to stay off social media. This is a shit show. One of them.
Yeah, it just ain't gonna happen. I agree with this young man. Salute the Cuff Boys. But yeah, that was more of a quicker summary than going through every single person. Really, they did show a little bit at the store and they kind of went over it. But that's pretty much all that happened on day 7. We're all caught up, so all we got is day 8 tomorrow. They say they ain't gonna start till 12 o'clock from 12 to 4. So I might be able to get home early enough to go over that one live while they're doing it live, and we can go ahead and get that out the way, and then we can get a little messy for the weekend and have a little fun, go over a couple of videos. But I appreciate everybody who pulled up. Like I said, we did reach the Stream Deck goal. I appreciate everybody helping me out with that. I also ordered me a new camera so it can help me with my avatar, and when I'm moving my head around, it has kind of like an autofocus to it. So maybe it'll keep my eyes and all that from twitching and going crazy when I'm over here talking with my avatar ears. But anyway, I'm going to be playing with that Stream Deck tomorrow and trying to get the feel of it, try to upgrade as much as possible. Like I said, we'll try to go live while the trial is still going on tomorrow, because, you know, I might be able to catch it from there. So y'all tune in for that. And we're going to do some gaming lives this weekend to anybody who want to participate in the gaming live. Rock with me this weekend. We do have the last week of fantasy football. So, hey, good luck to everybody. And if anybody is trying to get in the football pool, we got about 3 or 4 more weeks left, man. I was so close last week, man. Kansas City. If it weren't for Kansas City, I would have had a little chance. But, hey, Cincinnati ended up winning anyway. So, but anyway, y'all have a good night. I'm going to get up out of here. Wick Made 912. I'm out y'all area.
I don't win. Bro, the spot of the op off in the hood when the poppin' at him. No, we ain't rockin' with them. Steppin' on them niggas like some Tims. Junkie on the block, going crazy for the M's. And I got that eye, get them wrinkles out your clothes. Ain't fucking with these niggas, cause I know these niggas hoes. Niggas 12 like motherfucking troll. He only like 12, but got like 3 or 4 poles. It can go down if you niggas ain't.
I appreciate you, Miss Strong. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Y'all have a good night.